Good day everyone and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to learn how to make a crop top with ruched effect at the top for a client. So we need the length of the top, the bust measurements, the waist measurements, the back measurements also. So I'm going to be measuring out the length of for this client, which is 22 inches plus 1 inch, so now that's 23 inches. This client actually wants her own a little bit longer, so she doesn't want it to crop, she wants it a little bit longer to reach at least the waist, the hip I mean. So I marked out my bust measurements, which is 10 inches, my hip measurement is 15 inches. So I came down to my bust measurements, they mark out the bust plus 2 inches is allowance and 1 inch is sewing allowance. She actually wants her own a little bit bigger, she doesn't want it fitted. Then I came to the waist, mark out the waist plus 2 inches, then 1 inch is sewing allowance. If you want yours fitted, 1.5 it's okay for the sewing allowance. So I came down to my hip line here, I marked out the hip measurement with the sewing allowance and ease allowance. Why using the hip measurement is because the top actually reached the hip line. So after doing this, I'm going to come to the upper part, then mark out my back, which is 14 inches divided by 2, that's 7 inches. I mark out the 7 inches. So at where I mark the back, I'll come down and mark out my armhole, which is 8 inches. I'll mark it out like so. Then I came down to my bust measurement, then mark out the bust measurement to my armhole measurement. Then I'm going to be joining my lines like that to the hip line. Depending on where you want your own top to reach, it can either end at your waistline or your hip line. But my client wants her own to end at her hip line. So I'll come to the top here, I'll mark out half inches. So I'm going to be connecting it like so to the armhole. I'm going to be going over the measurement again because my chalk is not actually showing on the fabric. So I said I marked out the length of my top plus 1 inch sewing allowance, hemming allowance down and bottom. Then I mark out my bust measurement plus 2 inches is 1 inch sewing allowance. I did the same for my hip and my waistline. Then I came up, mark out my back measurement divided by 2. I removed half inches from the top, then I mark it out. So after doing this, I'm going to be cutting it out. Remember, I'm cutting both the front and the back together. So after cutting it out, this is it. So I'm going to be taking it to the machine. I'm going to be hemming the top side like this. You can either use your bias or you can cut the bias with the fabric to hem the upper part. So remember, it has a ruch at the front. So I'm going to be measuring out 4 inches by 20 inches for the ruch at the front. So I'm going to be folding it like this on the same machine. I'll fold it down like this, hem in the edges. So after doing it, I'm going to be attaching it to the front part. So this is it after folding it. So I'm going to be attaching it to the front part like this. I'll attach it like so. I'll sew it down at the end, then come to the middle, then sew it down. I already sew out my rope that I'm going to pass in through the front. It depends on how long you want yours to be, but I'm using close to 40 inches by 2 inches that I folded in. So I'm going to be passing it through it like this. So this is after passing it through it. So I'm going to be taking the back and the front of the sewing machine, so I'm going to stitch it down. So after that, I'm going to be cutting the sleeve. Remember, the back has this kind of effect. To achieve this, you can just use your smoking thread to do one long stitches at its back like this, but my client does not want that, so I'm going to be leaving it simple as this. So I'm going to be cutting out the sleeve. So I mark out the length of the sleeve. Remember, I'm adding elastic to the hand, to the band, to the waistband and the shoulder. So be adding extra inches. And if you want to know how I achieve my shoulder, I'll be dropping a link in the description box to know how to cut an off shoulder. This is how it looks like after attaching the sleeve to the top. I already had my elastic to the sleeve band and the shoulder also. And you can also put zip at the back of your own top. It will make it really fitted. It depends on what you actually want. My client does not want her own to be fitted, so that's why I'm cutting it out like this. And thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment, like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I drop a new video. Thank you.